All right, hey, welcome back to shop. So what we're going to be working on today, I'm going to be having lunch soon, so figured I'd knock this out quick. This right here, these were the pieces that I was jointing the other day. Let's see, these seams still have glue kind of sticking out of them, but you can see how good these jointed seams are. But as you can also see, it's what happens when you mill lumber and got to pick together pieces. Now I've got some uneven spots. This whole piece I left it high. It's even on the ends and high in the middle, so I got to scrub this all down. So what I'm going to do today, because I have to get this cut to its final dimensions for this is a small countertop. The customer we're doing this for is getting this on one side, and then there's a walk-through, and then there's a huge countertop going on the other side around another beer cooler that we just put in. And this is all northern white cedar that we milled. As you can see, it's going to have a natural edge on the front of it. It's going to be cut down to about, let's just say about here, and somewhere in here. It'll have a radius corner right here. But, so I got to scrub this down, and I'm going to basically finish playing it, stain it, polyurethane it to the color they want. And I'm going to get started on the process. So, actually, Kate's in making some sandwiches. So in the meantime, my cast of character is going to be Auburn Tools Woody jack. /tri/4, whatever you want to call it. It's a little longer than a jack. So here's a standard jack. You can see the difference in length. So this old compass plane I converted, it's got a Wood River iron in it, version 3, the thick irons, and it's been converted to a scrub. So I don't know if you can see that, but see the radius on that iron. This has got a radius on the iron also, a little less radius, but about a 6-inch radius, which is perfect for these planes. Bailey number 3, which is kind of becoming my go-to smoother now. Now this has the standard Stanley New Britain Connecticut iron in it. Probably the iron that came in this plane. No lateral adjuster. I use tap method to adjust it. And this is becoming my go-to smoother. And then the Shelton number 9 has also got a Wood River iron in it. And as you can see how thick the iron is there. This has got an adjustable frog. It's really a super little plane. And I use this for smoothing too. But what I'll probably do is I'll set these two up tight with the cap irons. Because as you can see, this is going to be a grain nightmare, to say the least. So as I get down closer to flat, I don't want to tear anything out huge. That's going to be an issue. So these will be set up really tight. And these will be for scrubbing off a lot of material. Probably the most of the scrubbing that I'm going to do is going to be cross grain so that I don't rip out any chunks along the grain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test these planes out really quick and see how many of them have to go to the sharpening station. And after lunch, I might even do a couple sharpening videos because there'll be a little bit involved here. But hopefully today I can get this thing perfectly flat. And when I say perfectly flat, I mean like surface plate flat, smooth, like a piece of glass, and then I will lay it out, cut it to final dimension, and stain it and start the polyurethane so I can get this piece done before I start working on the bigger one. So I'm going to get at it, and I figured I'd just throw it on video while I was doing it. And this was a good view the other day, so I kind of like this. I'll take you over from time to time to show you what's up, but this is a really good spot to video from. So basically what I'm going to do is test through these planes and anything that needs to go right to sharpening is just going to go over there. And after lunch, I'll sharpen away. So what we'll do is we'll set them up one by one, check them out. Let's see, we're going to be able to scrub across. I'll keep these over here. Actually, let's do these really quick. So this one's set up fairly tight. I could set it closer, but it's pretty close. And we're just going to see what the edge is like on it. For any of you that watch Cossman, and this is an absolutely essential part of how he sets up planes, and that is sighting down the sole of the plane to get it close first, especially if you're going into. Now I could do it right on this top because it's going to come down, but you know, I can see this side of the iron over here protruding a little too far against the white cedar. So we're going to just kind of get it close. There is a slight camber on this iron, and right now it's just pretty much disappeared. So what I'm going to do is just going to run a couple of strokes with it. Start over here. That's definitely back into the grain. I'm going to try it this way and just see what it feels like. I'm not pushing very hard on this. The cap iron set really close. So my initial impression on that is it's going to have to be sharpened. Leave that iron over here. It's not super bad, but it's just not sharp enough for this job. Took most of the glue off. Tore out a little bit right here. Seems like it's working pretty good up in here. A little bit of tear out here. There's just grains all over the place. So check out the number 3. Now I can see based on where the shavings are coming out, if it's set right on the lateral. Right now the shaving came right out of the middle, so I'm just going to check this out. Start on some of this tear out over here. This is what I will do most of my finished planing with, because you can set it real super fine on the cut. Skew it just a little bit and really just take off almost more like scraping action, you know, micro thin shavings, and it's making the tear out go away. This one's pretty close. I think I'm gonna just for giggles, I'm going to sharpen this one too. Why not? It probably is okay. I can feel the outside edge right here. Get closer to you guys. Show you how tight this is set. I don't know if I can get the light right that you can see this. I'll try. So I can see it with my eyes, but it's set really tight. And with my finger, I can tell it's razor sharp on the edge right here. I mean, like crazy sharp on the edge here. And in the middle, it's sharp, but it's not as sharp as the edges. This has got a slight camber on it, very, very slight. And so it can use a touch-up, but it's really super, super razor sharp here and super, super razor sharp here. But in the middle, it's definitely not as sharp as the edges. So this one has been used a little bit. So that one's going to go to the Get Sharpened 2. And let's try the jacks out. I'll try the easy one first. This one actually adjusts opposite normal. So we actually use the back out rotation to advance the iron. It's just starting to pick up a shaving right now. And there's going to be some tough scrubbing here with these some of these knots. Definitely going to be some tough scrubbing. Now, I'm going to show you something too. I'm going to scrub a little more before I bring you over and show you this, but I'm going to show you the tear out on this. Take you over here real quick. So this is what you got to be careful of. Run a scrub iron. So you can see this tear out right here. Now this tear out's still way high. All right. You don't want that to go below this board. Same thing here. You can see that chunk it ripped out going through this. You can see the grain. Crazy funky. You really want to get almost straight across here. You can see that chunk it took out there. The more straight across you go, the less you'll get of that. Now I'm going to come across and go straight across here real quick. Show you what it does to that. Oops. Hopefully you guys sit right there. I want you to come back. All that tear out's almost gone. It's a little bit right there still, but I just took all that tear out by skewing slightly and going straight across. You can see how much smoother it cut versus these ones going in this direction. See all this tear out here? There's almost no tear out here. Let me see if I can deal with this. This knot's going to be a problem, but I'm going to get you, just move my tools real quick. I don't know if you're going to stay standing or not, but I'm going to put you right here. One of my legs on this thing is getting weak. See if you will stay there. I don't know if you will or not, but you can see the tear out right here. I'm going to go straight across that, and I'm going to see if it would take it out. I wonder if I can put you in my leg vise here. Let's try this. Let's see if I can clamp. Oh, one of my legs just fell off. There's that tear out. Look at that, clamps you in the leg vise. So you're probably going to walk around a lot like that, but maybe you'll be able to see this tear out go away here while I rip across it. So almost there. Almost got it out. I'm actually getting close to hitting on this side. Still got a little bit of glue in here too, but you can see it took most of it out. I'll see if I can get that out. You go through these knots, you definitely don't want to skew the plane. So you can see where that bad tear out was right there. I got most of it out. So you're going to be really conscious of when you're scrubbing down something that's this high. You don't want that tear out to go low. You don't want it to continue. So you have a problem where you got to bring the whole top down to get rid of the tear out. So you're just going to have to pay attention to, you know, your plane direction going across. You can skew a little bit. That helps with a little bit of shear angle. Probably, even though this feels like it's cutting pretty good, I might just sharpen all of them. Just feeling the edge on this. It can be touched up too, so let's see if you can see that. So just feeling the edge right here. It's not crazy sharp. It is on the outside. Right here it's crazy sharp. Not right in the middle. So this one's going to get sharpened too. What happens when you work a whole ton of projects in a short time, and planing projects and such, and don't exactly stay up on all your sharpening. I'm going to put you back up on the top while I get the jack ready. God, I got stuff all over the shop. I can't wait to work through some of this wood. Some of this wood in here is going to go into the other top. Be able to get cleaned out here. I've got, like, in the bedroom over here, I've got like 12 footers sitting there on the floor. So I just recently adjusted this. Since the last time I shot a video with this plane, I adjusted the wedge a little bit because it was getting tight with seasonal movement, which you have to do on these planes often. If you don't want these planes to chatter, your wedge has got to sit flat. Just starting to pick up a shaving. When you have camber like this, you don't have to worry so much about the left or right on it. It's a much better stock removal plate than the other one for some reason. It's just with the camber and the plane itself is way more stable. It's more solid. It's way more effortless. Even though it doesn't have as much camber on it as the little compass plane, this iron seems pretty sharp. That's sharp. It's cutting wicked clean here. loose spot there. Getting rid of a lot of material fast here. These knots are going to be a joy to work through. Even with the knots, this plane is so much more stable. It's doing a great job. My tear out on this side is starting to get close to the level point. So I'm going to be really careful. I'm probably not going to do any more scrubbing out here. Because right here it's still just a teeny bit high, but I got a bunch of tear out. Over here it's looking pretty good. It's coming down pretty even. One more little knot problem over here that I haven't tried yet. Fun. So around these knots, it's probably better just to get a number 4 and really sharp and just go right over the top and bring it down. I can easily take this top down to flush before I could set up a router sled. I just learned I don't want to go that way. Over here, I want to go this way. And I want to be careful, like I said, as I get closer. So right now I'm almost even here, still a little high here. This knot's gonna have to be dealt with. Still high on both sides here. But I can scrub this whole thing down pretty quick. Oops. Now I'm almost even here. And close. So like I was saying, I will yeah, this one's pretty sharp. I'll stay with this one the way it is. There's one little high spot here is gonna have to be dealt with. And I'm getting these almost down to flush now. What I don't want to do is I don't want to tear out along the seam. So you can see ripped out fibers, so I'll get it close, and that's as far as I'm willing to go. Down. That almost tore out the seams. It's even here now. I actually hit this a couple times, this board. So there's a lot there. And that's that tear out. So anyway, gonna have lunch. You can see how quick I'm probably just gonna sharpen them all anyway, but I'll show you how quick it came down. That was pretty high. I mean, like almost quarter inch high. You can see now how the plane actually started hitting right here. I don't know what that weird color is there. It looks like the seam's open, but it's not. It's a great color of grain right here. Now, you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about on that far edge. I don't want to be exiting that far edge and tearing chunks out that are going to go below. This is still pretty high here. But this right here is pretty even. And if you can see right where my finger is, that's what I don't want to have happen to this seam. And thank God it's still high. I don't want to have that happen to this side of the seam where it rips a chunk out right where the boards come together. And you can see the tear out around this knot right here. So this is still high. So I'll be able to take that out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a 4 right where these knots are and shave these knots off to get them down. And then I will probably take the rest of this down with a smoother because it's getting close. This is still high here. It's not super high, but I'll be able to come in and take a smoother and shave it down to get rid of all the tear out and see exactly where I am. And then over here on this side where you can see how high it is, kind of the same thing. I'll probably go at this with a smoother first and see if it's going to be too much work. Yeah. And that's it. So I'm going to go have lunch, and when I come back, we're going to sharpen some irons, and we'll get back at it. Thanks. See ya.